The Rebbe Maharash of Lubavitch was once going for a walk, and he wandered deep in thought, contemplating Divrei Torah, Divrei Chasidus, and he was unaware of his environment, and he ended up wandering into a part of town where Jews were not permitted to go. And a Russian soldier saw him and yelled to him, and because he was so deep in his thought, he didn't even hear it. And finally the soldier ran over furiously and said, "Who are you? Where are you going? What are you doing here?" And not intimidated in the least bit, the Rebbe said to him, "How much do they pay you? How much do they pay me? A chutzpah. That's what this Jew is asking me." And he said, "I'll answer you. I'm paid 10 rubles a day." And the Rebbe responded, "I will pay you 10 rubles times 10 to come over to me every day and ask me what you just said to me right now. Who are you? Where are you going? What are you doing here?" Now, the description that we have of Kabbalas HaTorah troubles many of the Mefarshim. If Bnei Yisrael pronounced and made it very, very unequivocally clear that Na'aseh v'nishma, even before we're told what we're going to do, we're going to accept it. Why did Chazal tell us in the Gemara and Shabbos on Daf Peiches that Hashem had to hold over them? Har Kegigis, Har Sinai, and threaten them. Im tekablu es HaTorah mutav, if you accept the Torah, good. V'im lav sham take v'raschem, and if not, it's going to drop down, and that will be your demise. That will be your permanent residence. And the Maharal in Tiferet Yisrael explains that as beautiful as the blind acceptance of Torah and mitzvos is, there was a drawback. Because if I accept something on my terms, I'll feel I can reject it when I'm no longer interested. So Hashem forced the acceptance of the Torah to tell us that it applies in all times, no matter what, in all places, the Olam Vod forever, whether you desire it at that particular moment or not. But the Gemara in Shabbos continues. Hadar kiblu abimei Achashverosh. They later re-accepted the Torah in the times of Achashverosh and the times of Purim. Why? What was lacking? They already said Na'aseh v'nishma, and they were forced. What could possibly still be missing and added through the Kabbalas HaTorah of Purim? Explains the Maharal that only after hearing the Torah and living the Torah, living the mitzvos, can they declare emphatically, by adding a mitzvah, by adding the mitzvah of Purim, this is for us. We want in. This is who we really are. It's an amazing gift that we jumped to accept and that we were forced to accept. And I think that these are 3 forms of Kabbalas HaTorah that reflect different phases that we all experience in our lives at different times. We cycle through them. We have our Na'aseh v'nishma moments. We have those moments of clarity, of excitement, when we're driven and we're inspired and we want to do more. We're looking to connect and nothing will stop us. And yet at times we feel less excitement and we feel as if it was forced upon us. And we'll do what we need to do, dragging along begrudgingly. And yet at other times we simply understand that even if it's a yoke, if it's a burden on our shoulders, it's the right thing to do because it's who we are. And we fluctuate between the 3. And we feel uncertainty at times. And that's okay too. Now, the Navi Yeshayahu famously tells us about the great day that will come at the end of time. Those that are lost will come back. And the Baal Shem Tov would explain who are the Ovdim be'eretz Ashur, the ones that were lost in the world of in the land of Ashur. He says they're the people that are lost in the land of Osher with an Aleph, the land of contentment. The people that get lost forgetting that life and Judaism is about a trajectory and not about a position. It's about where are we headed. And on that great day, even the people that haven't budged in years will begin climbing again. And the Meir Shiloach explains that the Medrash tells us that Ma'aseh Avos, similar to what happens to our Avos, gives us strength. It provides us the DNA that we need, as the Ramban explains, not just an omen, but it gives us the capacity to do great things. From Avram's Lech Lecha comes the strength for a Jew to leave everything to make Aliyah. From Zakeda, the fortitude to be Moser Nefesh. But there were moments that, and Avram was Amunah, but there were moments that even Avram wasn't sure. On the day Lot was captured, Avram debated internally whether or not he was ready to put up a fight. And so says the Meir Shiloach, the Ishbitzer. We too have within us this constant concern. Are we climbing or are we stagnant? And I think that's what we need to think about as we read and experience and re-experience Kabbalas HaTorah? How do we make sure that we're always always moving forward? Where exactly we are right now is far less important than the trajectory in which we are going. And as we experienced we're coming upon Rosh Chodesh Adar very soon, Mevarchim HaChodesh this year, it's been almost a year of our lives being turned upside down. And as we think about what we've experienced, again, it's far less important where we are, but where are we headed? What are we going to do with the lessons that we've learned? How do we make sure that our Kabbalas HaTorah, that our experience is one that continues to drive us and makes us into better Jews, that makes us into better friends, that makes us into better parents, better grandparents, and continues to bring us closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. And those are what is going to hopefully lead us to that time of Yitaka b'shofar gadol, and that we will be able, that every person will leave those days of contentment and see the fulfillment of the nevuah and ultimately that connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'mheira v'yameinu. Amen.